Welcome, my name is Nate Kane. I'm a guitarist and guitar teacher based out of Provo, Utah. Throughout all of my teaching, I've noticed that it can be pretty difficult to find time to practice, and I understand that. The purpose of today's video is to talk about simple exercises you can do in 30 seconds or a minute or 5 minutes to get your guitar practice in, even on those days when you feel like you just don't have any time at all. Here's what my practice is going to look like. And it may not sound like a lot, but I promise you doing these types of exercises for even 30 seconds, but doing them consistently a few times a week or every day really goes a long way and you will see results. We're going to talk about a few different things. We'll talk about our fretting hand, we'll talk about our picking hand, and we'll talk about some chords, but we're going to kick it off with the simplest of the exercises. Now I call this the spider exercise. This exercise is really simple, and even if this is your first time ever touching a guitar, you can do it. All we're going to do is we're going to take our first finger and we're going to put it on the first fret of our low E string. So that's our lowest string, and we're going to put it on the first fret. We're going to pick the first fret of the low E string, and then we're going to go to our next finger and pick the second fret. And then we're going to go to the next finger, our ring finger, play the third fret, and then our pinky, and we're going to play the fourth fret. So it'll be first finger, first fret, second fret, third finger, third fret, fourth finger, fourth fret. And you'll just repeat that over and over again. This is going to help you get a little bit better with your picking hand, but it's really going to help you build up some dexterity with your fretting hand, and it's going to help you become more familiar with playing across the frets. On this spider exercise, sometimes you'll get these buzzy notes. I have 2 tips to help you overcome that, and this applies to chords as well as individual notes. The first tip is to pull on the neck of the guitar instead of squeezing it. So don't think of using your hand strength to squeeze in on the string. It's not that helpful. Instead, think of letting your shoulder and your arm pull down and back. Let gravity be your friend. Gravity is one of your best friends when it comes to playing chords, playing clean notes, and especially when it comes to playing bar chords. So pull back on the neck of the guitar. Pull down and back. Let gravity assist you. The second tip I have for you is that you want to be playing as close to the fret as you can. So for example, if I'm trying to play a G note here, this is the 3rd fret of the low E string. What I'm going to do is, instead of having my finger towards the back of the fret, I want to have it close to the front of the fret. If I have my finger far away like this, it's going to buzz like this. And I have to press really, really hard to make that ring clearly. But if I move my finger really close to the fret and now play, I'm not pressing any harder, but you can hear that that rings really clearly. So that goes for individual notes as well as full chords. Once you have that under our belt, it's really easy to take it to the next level and make this a more effective exercise. If you're using a pick, what I would recommend is working on picking down, up, down, up. That's called alternate picking. Here's what that looks like. From there, what you want to do is repeat that, but on the following string. So we'll start on the low E string, play those 4 frets, and then go to the next string and play the same 4 frets. Let's move on to finger picking. So to start out, we're not going to worry about our fretting hand at all. We're only worried about our picking hand. And what we're going to do is we're going to play the low E string with our thumb like this. And then with our first finger, we're going to play the G string. With our middle finger, we're going to play the B string, and with our ring finger, we're going to play the high E string. And you can repeat that. And right there, you've got a fantastic exercise. Again, sit down for 30 seconds and just do that. To take it a step farther, we can try moving the bass note with our thumb. So what that means is these 3 fingers will stay on the G string, B string, and high E like this. And we're still going to play those 3 notes, but our thumb will move between the low E, the A, and the D string. It's going to be the same pattern, but every time we repeat the pattern, we're going to switch the bass note. If that sounds confusing, don't worry. It's not that hard, but take a look here and just pay close attention to what my thumb is doing. I'm going to start on the low E string. Now I'm going to move to the A string, now to the D string, and at your exercise. The next step for this exercise would be to use that same pattern, but with any chords you want. I might do a G major, maybe to an E minor, to an A minor, maybe a C major. But my right hand, my picking hand, is doing the exact same pattern that we did without our fretting hand, but now I'm just adding chords. So this is a really good way to practice finger picking without thinking about it too much. And next up, let's work on some chords. This exercise is going to use 5 major open chords. These are the fundamentals of every single chord that we play on guitar. We're going to have a C major, A major, G major, E major, and a D major. This exercise is dead simple. All we're gonna do is practice playing those 5 chords in order. We're gonna go C major, A major, G major, E major, and D major. Your first goal here should be to make those chords ring clearly. Work on getting your fingers in the right position. Work on making sure you don't have any buzzy notes. So your chord shouldn't sound like this with some of that buzz. Work on making it clear so it sounds like this. And again, remember those 2 tips I gave you earlier. If you're having a hard time playing these chords or any notes clearly, what you want to do is first pull down and back on the guitar. Let gravity be your friend. Pull on the guitar, don't squeeze it. And second, you want to make sure that all of your fingers are close to the frets that they're sitting in. So if I'm playing a C major chord, my ring finger is sitting on the 3rd fret of the A string, and I want to make sure that that's really close to that fret. I don't want it back here. I want it close to that fret, and that'll help that ring clear. Okay. My middle finger is going to be on the 2nd fret of the D string, and again, I want that note really, I want my finger really close to the fret, and then my first finger, I want that close to the 1st fret on the B string as well. So I want all of my fingers to be really close to those frets. So let's see if I can get a good angle here. I don't want to be back here. I want all of my fingers to be as close to those frets as possible. That's going to help all of those notes ring out clearly. All right, so we've talked about these different exercises. Let's put them all into practice, and I'm going to show you what a 30-second practice might look like. I'm having a busy day. I don't have that much time to practice, but I want to practice. Here's what my practice is going to look like. Of course, if you have more than 30 seconds to practice, that's awesome. But I'm not kidding you. If you do these types of exercises consistently, even if it's only for 30 seconds, or a minute, or 2 minutes, or 5 minutes, I promise you, you will see results. I've seen it with myself, and this is the sort of thing that I teach to all of my students. I've had so many students who started doing these exercises consistently, and they see the improvement in themselves, and I can see the improvement between lessons, even if they haven't practiced any songs or any chords. Doing simple things like this, they come back to the lessons and they're playing sharper. Their fingers know where to go better. It's easier for them to find new chords. If you're interested in learning more, I do offer private lessons, and I can do those online or in person if you're in Provo, Utah. Check out the link in the description to learn more about that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next one.